Hello and welcome back, everybody. I'm Squid, joined by Nero, and we're back again for the fourth match today. It's Cold Game versus BPro. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, and I can't wait to finally start with this game. We did get into quite a bit of talks about this one, and quite in-depth also. So wondering what it's actually going to look like. The map is Mirage, that we already know for sure and for granted. And yeah, kind of that little sour taste that I have in my mouth is the fact that the winner will be facing off against Vexed Academy, and their chances of victory are pretty low. But I don't think that we're even allowed to say right off the bat that they will be the losers. If there is to be any kind of upset, I would say it would be against Vexed Academy. I don't think that Vexed will get a much better shot against Tricked in the finals if they get there, but there is a chance that BPro maybe will find themselves completely. After all, if they beat Cold Game, maybe they will pick a different map against Vexed Academy. But since this is another Mirage, it's kind of tough to really call it. I don't know. And actually, something that I also wanted to mention is that Tricked bans Mirage first against Cold Game, right? And now we're seeing Mirage. So there is a chance that maybe Cold Game actually very much like this map, and they will be looking forwards to crushing their opposition here.
That's a really good point. Cold Game, we don't actually know too much about them. We don't know if they're really good on Mirage. Obviously, they qualify through our ChallengeME qualifiers. That's why they get the punishment of getting put against Tricked so early on, our number 1 seed, as Cold, because they're the qualifying team, they're always going to be the number 4 seed. So they come in, Tricked instantly ban Mirage. So I don't know if that's really an anti-strat. I don't think that Tricked need to go for those anti-strats. I just think that Tricked don't necessarily like playing that map. However, against a team like BPro, then Mirage can definitely creep its way in. We don't know how good Cold Game are on this map though, so it's like it is a wild card pick.
Yeah, it might be. And
did you see his body like fly into the air then?
oh no, I'm just flying around the map actually during the
rocketed there.
warm-up. Doing the warm-up, not really watching that, unfortunately. But yeah, something that we want to mention. Yes, that definitely could be a wildcard right here. But what I can see happening indeed is that Tricked maybe against a mixed team that they don't know so much about. They don't want to play a map like Mirage because it might go down a lot to like these aim situations, a lot to like skill, and then they don't prefer to like train so much, but they don't deem Vexed Academy also a very like tactical heavy lineup, so they go for a train right there against them. That might be why we are seeing these choices actually made by them. Maybe they just don't feel the pressure from the other teams at all, and they just play whatever, really.
So I know that we're supposed to hype up everything, but just to burst the bubble a tiny bit, the winner of this game has to play against Vexed Academy, who will be the favourite in either of the matchups that they get put with. If they get put against BPro again, it's likely going to be another. It might be a lot closer. I feel like they're probably not going to 16-1 them twice or anything like that. I think it would be like a 16-9, a respectable scoreline for a BPro if they got through. But if it was Cold Game, then it might be also a 16-9. So I think Vexed hold the advantage in either of the matches that could come out of this best of 1. But here's the knife round. Let's see who's going to make it, Cold Game or BPro. Let's go, Nero.
Yep, knife round though. It's not the real start of this matchup, but the rounds should kick off instantly after the knife. But I would love to see BPro kicking it off actually right here on the T side, so maybe let's see it that way. They are the victors for sure, though, in this knife round, as they only lost one single person, and ETL's just desperately trying to get away from them, but unnecessarily extending this one. He's going to get cut down by Psycho, and what's their choice? Because if I remember correctly, Tricked actually chose to stay. Alright, they're going to choose to stay themselves. So, wow, yeah, that's okay. T-side.
So, obviously, they had an extremely poor CT side on Mirage earlier. They don't want to repeat history again. Obviously, this is not the highest level match that we've got in this group, but both of these teams great potential. So BPro, they favor their T side. They want to go for it. We didn't see it last time, and this is what I was saying about the spoiler factor. We didn't see them play. So Cold Game would have been watching that game, would have seen the gaps in their CT, but it gives them no intel about what they're going to face right now. Here come the flashes in ETL, forced to fall back.
Well, instantly dead, actually. Blocker is going to try to run down the other guy, but that's taken down by Corsair. And Corsair was overall a disappointment, definitely, against Vex Academy. So my eyes will be on this man. He's stepping up already, getting a kill on the pistol. Some good control over the kitchen, but he's not going to catch out the other CT, who's actually through to the doors now. Tiger, he knows how to win these situations, but not this time around. Not even getting a lot of damage down. Only a kill on Psycho, and Poise losing 20 points of health. It's a great beginning for BPro, and they already evened out the number of rounds that they've been able to win against Vex Gaming.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. You want to have a convincing round as well. BPro already got the same amount of rounds as they got earlier today. That's nuts. But BPro, what is this buy? They've got no rifles in this second round. I've never ever seen this. Both buying up just pistols. They're favoring just going. They've saved so much. Like, what is this? Fland finds the first shot with the Deagle. This is a level playing field right now. These Deagles mowing the T's down. What is BPro doing? Why didn't they buy? I think this is. They just get crushed. What nutcases?
I am.
Is this even a game of Counter Strike? What is going on right now? These BPro, hello, wakey. You got to play an official game, lads. Come on. Cold. Well, they've already got 5 rifles. They absolutely gifted to them, and BPro, yeah, concede a round early on. Should not have happened.
That's just weird, and in the wrong sense, actually. They have what, UMP, Deagle, Galil, only 2 real AKs out there, not even the fullest set of nades that they could get there, and I don't know. Cold Game are gifted a single round right here, but they might as well be gifted the entire game. As a result, maybe.
What dog shit tactic! That's the worst second round I've ever seen from a team who just won the pistol round. I've never seen anything like that, just like ever. Foreign deals a headshot, and right now BPro, I don't know what the hell they're thinking, but Cold. They take the initial damage, and there's even more. Psycho hits a nice shot with the Deagle, but in this 3v5, Cold still have 3 rifles, and they're already doing damage with the Outbreak. Starts off the fragging towards Corsair, and Fland as well.
Right, good flashbang right here. Outbreak completely blind, but nobody's going to take a peek that way. What? Foreign's going down. Well, of course, it's a mistake that he could have made. It's not so obvious that somebody's going to be sitting in that corner, but Outbreak, just like this, gets another kill, drops the bomb down. Blocker knows now where he is, so he'll be able to win this fight, but then it makes it so much easier for Hiji. 34 HP, there's still a flashbang available. This flashbang could be clutch, but he actually turns away from it, and 10 seconds remaining on the clock. He's going to have to plant that bomb. He cannot fake it, but Hiji allows him to do that. And the round goes over to BPro, man. It should not have happened. Both the teams are making very questionable decisions, and I'm just completely shocked by what it looks like.
Maybe what happened on the second round is BPro not used to winning rounds, so they won the round and then they forgot that they won the round. So
yeah,
so they're like, yeah, no, guys, we have to force buy now. But they all got pistols. Just not used to winning rounds in Counter Strike.
I don't know, but there we go. Actually, pistols all over the place now. Only for Cold Game, actually. They're still doing not so bad. Hiji, Tiger finding these kills, and they might be looking for the rifles at some point in the round. They have an AK already. UMP also was picked up. Foreign doing, I don't know, well in the very beginning in an opening in the previous round, but then horribly right after. Just tough to really put these players in some position, really.
There's Tiger doing good damage with this one AK-47 that he's picked up from earlier. He's got armor to complement it, but BPro, they've decided to fall back to T-Sport, and there are only 2 of them, so they've got to formulate an attack as a duo. But Cold Game, they've got a brilliant defense to hold off these 2 players.
So, 2-man lead, surely is one that should grant them a round victory, but a lot of mysterious stuff's happened this far in the game, so what else can BPro do? Force it down to 8 HP and is being run down by Outbreak, but is able to still survive a little bit longer, but the bomb goes down. They know exactly where the last man is. That's going to be Tiger, actually, with a
great
kill
round from him.
Round.
That's a phenomenal round from Tiger, though, isn't it? Like, 4 kills.
Sure, but I have to say that it didn't feel the impact, really. It was just...
BPro certainly felt the impact. They just got rattled by the AK-47. Oh, yeah. I don't know how he actually got it. He must have aggressed up with the pistol, not taking too much damage in response, which is what you want to do. You want to get those sort of kills and not take a monstrous amount of damage either. BPro, again with these 5 pistols, they're just so used to saving. And Tiger again. It's 5 kills in a row for him. He's on a kill streak. He wants that Moab.
More and more. Tiger again and again and again, but these are Deagles out there. However, Cold Game, they've been able to obliterate the... What do I even call that? Forge buy on the second round with the Deagles.
No, this is a standard BPro buy. 5 Deagles, that is a standard. That's what they're aiming for. When you think of a perfect buy, you think of an AWP, maybe 2 even, 3 rifles, perfect nades. They just need 5 Deagles, no armor, no utility at all. That's a perfect BPro buy. Just kidding, lads. It sucks as a tactic to disable the time. Cold, yeah, they might rip them apart. Might actually take a round in a map here, but Tiger, 3 straight kills for him. Shreds BPro down, and maybe Mirage just isn't their map. They got nothing going on the CD side earlier, and right now on the T side, they seem to be choking.
Oh man. ETL sitting on just a single kill, but then Tiger already on 12, and nobody's really going to challenge him at all if we're talking about BPro's lineup, for now at least. But yeah, as you say, just saving up some of these questionable rounds is just not the greatest idea. Poise now getting a double combined this far, and he might be looking for some even more if he just peeks out the middle. Outbreak knows already somebody's running him down, but what a double kill from Psycho! That was not supposed to happen, and now he's trying to replace his weapon for an AWP, but ETL successfully puts him down just to die right after the Poise. Poise a triple this round. Double from Psycho. It's a good performance, but it's chaos. It was because Cold Game were not structured this round at all.
Felt semi-gifted though, didn't it? BPro capitalizing on Cold's mistakes. They pushed mid with 4 players. BPro just read that like a book. They found the kills and they tore up that mid push. Cold Game, yeah, they're ahead. They don't need to take these chances, and maybe that's some of the growing pains involved in being a newer team. BPro, obviously an organization with years of tenure within Counter-Strike. ETL going for the second kill as well. Hits the headshot, but Poise hits one as well. With this AWP, stays alive, and they've got 13 points of health between them. So against this pair of M4 A1Ss and the AWP as well, I struggle to comprehend how they're actually going to formulate a push which is going to be in contention of taking this round, especially with Fland on this B site. He is like a rock right now. With an M4, this is the perfect weapon to be utilizing as this push comes in. And both of these players, they might be mincemeat very soon. There's the initial flash to go for a peek. He just wants the intel, and he's got it. There's a shot out from the enemy AWPer. Needs to fall back with this M4, not actually commit his life to the AWP threat, but he's dodging and weaving around this site. BPro can't get anywhere close, and Core, with a bomb out, is actually going to sneak behind. What's going on? Stop it! Corsair finds a headshot, and now BPro, what are we watching? This is quite a sausage fest. Both of these players very low, and Outbreak's going to destroy them. 1 and 2. Cold game with 5 rounds.
Oh, walking into your enemy's back with a bomb in your hands, and there was no smoke in there at all. That was quite a weird situation. Luckily enough, though, of course, I was able to get that kill, because remember that in the first match BPro played today, he would even be capable of missing that. So that's a 5-3 in favor of Core Game, but way too much given over to the enemy team. As you mentioned, very low health bars out there, but they got the bomb plant at the end of the day, and another kill out of this one, where they were supposed to just turn into mincemeat, as you mentioned yourself.
Sure thing, and BPro now back to the pistols. They seem to love them. This is another, well, you can't even call it a quasi-buy because they've got such little money left that they cannot buy into the next round anyway. BPro taking no regard of the economy, and these players can hit shots, but their economy management is amongst the worst I've ever seen. And all 5 players being flashed up, their cold game. A little bit of time to go for this rotate. These rifles just destroying the BPro push. Finally the pistols do 2 kills worth of damage. Foreign as well, takes 1 in return, but cold game. This defense is still on the bomb site. Hidge does actually take a lot of damage, and it's only Tiger left. He's been the man of the moment, but can he find this final kill? Yes, of course he can.
Yep.
Of course it drops, and cold game double the BPro scoreline.
A little bit unlucky from Foreign right there. He was trying to wrap around the site and find one man from behind, but instead he was the one who was killed. And that could have created a successful situation for BPro that easily could have been a 4-5, and right now a little bit closer of a game. But they mix it right now, as you said. Their economical situation is just kind of awkward all the time because of how badly they manage it, and can get even worse maybe after this one. Lucky with a kill on Outbreak, but ETL replies.
This push from Cold Game again. When they go for the aggressive plays, BPro seem to be able to read it really well. Obviously ETL hitting another headshot, staying alive. And here's the crossfire. Cold Game being brutal when they're playing defensively. But when they get aggressive, the push up towards mid, the push onto ramp, it hasn't been working. BPro is able to read those. The nade not doing any damage, and it's only a Tech 9, so not much of a threat at long range. But remember, this Tech 9 has been made deadly accurate for the first bullet, so it does switch out to the AK-47, so we won't be seeing any crazy Tech 9 action. But these 2 players are cold game. They're playing together. This is the trick style. You bait off one player, hit with the second. It's the boxer 1-2 sucker punch. And BPro, they need to actually get something going now. In Corsair, him waiting, baits and fakes cold game. They think that it's possibly going to be a B push. However, he's not going to go for the rotate. Going for the rotate means you have to check 10, 15 angles, and he just hasn't got enough time for that. Corsair hits the opening headshot, and that gives him a chance to spray through the box. 35 HP left, and he's got to go for the reload. Hidge, not many bullets, but he's doing tons of damage on 20 HP. Corsair needs to hit a headshot now, and Hidge, he just needs to hit 1 bullet, and he finds it. Cold game made their 7th round, pick up the AWP, but it wasn't clean.
Yeah, even if Hidge wasn't 100% HP though, I just felt the pressure real hard right there. And finally, Cold Game managing to let that pressure out, and 7-3 in their favor. That's good, but not a bad push by BPro. And also, I'm glad that you pointed out Cold Game are working together, because that's something that BPro are heavily struggling with when they faced off against Vex Academy. So, yeah, you can clearly already start to see that BPro are just starting to get picked apart once again because their team play lacks.
Yeah, they're struggling with it again too, in this game as well. You see they're struggling to, maybe their communication isn't on point, that's why their economy management is so bad, it's so easy. You see it in matchmaking all the time when a player will invest up without even checking his teammates' money, and then everybody else is like, okay, right, we'll have to buy up around them now because otherwise we throw around 2 rounds. And maybe they're having that level of miscommunication, which would be hideous to see. This is supposed to be a top 100 team maybe. However, BPro just getting nothing going initially on Mirage on either side of the map as well. We saw them perform like maybe the worst CT side I've ever seen against Vex Academy, and again, putting no numbers up on the T side. Maybe they should stop banning Mirage.
Now, that's going to be a little bit of a shot in the middle from HG, but barely missing. Poise out there. A good position from Outbreak. Nobody checking this one out. But there are two people in Tetris, and with two people, it should be enough to actually take him down. Now, Foreign getting an important kill on HG out there. The AWP is down instantly. His teammate can pick it up, and Poise, we already remember how good he can be with his AWP. But it only happened once this time. Foreign's going to get completely obliterated by ETL. Yeah, the timing was just horrible by Foreign to swap his weapons around. You know, Poison Blocker are not doing a bad job, and Tiger down to 24 HP. It's just impossible to win it, alright? Wow. Had he won it, I would just quit.
Yeah, Blocker losing a lot of health there and missing a lot of bullets as well. Could be a threat, but Psycho finishes the job. 7-4 is the scoreline. It's BPro starting to do something. They did find some engagements, but it feels like just fragging power. Cold Game making mistakes and being punished for it. It's not BPro with a solid strat to push the A site or anything like that, but they have forced an eco round. So they could definitely find themselves on 5 or 6 rounds at the end of this half if they carry on and keep up this pace.
This far is just tough. It's just real tough for them. I wouldn't be surprised if Cold Game, maybe on a force buy, would be able to take them down. On Pure Eco, it's a little bit of a far cry, but well, let's see. Anything can happen in this game after all, and we've already been proving that.
Yeah, and it's upsetting to see BPro playing at such a low level. However, they can definitely recover. This is not over. They're not. The first half is far from finished. Cold Game, if they continue to make a couple of rookie mistakes, BPro can punish. They do have the players with the skill to make this work. And Poise, 1 and 2, shuts down the mid defense. ETL drops, and these pistols not faring up against his AWP. Big damage into mid.
Well then, seems like all the risks are completely limited and disabled instantly by BPro right here. And now a good shooting range performance by Psycho right there. Headshot here, headshot there, then turns to the left to finish off the last guy. And it will be 5 rounds indeed for BPro combined. And now Cold Game, they're taking it slow. They're not really forcing up at all right here, but I think that it could be something that throws BPro off, and that force buy would have taken them down, but well, it's not happening anymore.
Yeah, and it's BPro starting to let up with the pressure, but Hitch hits a very nice headshot on the aggressive foreign. He obviously had the intel that they were pushing up ramp and finished them off. But these pistols from Cold Game, they're all on the B site doing the damage as well. But ETL missed a hell of a lot of shots there, maybe 10 or so. But Psycho does capitalize on those mistakes. And BPro, they're not even low at this point, apart from Outbreak doing the damage. It's just Hitch left, and he's sneaking through this smoke. Psycho's going to find him. 3rd kill for him in the round. And Cold Game, they have looked pretty cold in the last 3-4 rounds as BPro just minced up this defense. And it's all been off the back of Psycho and Poise. They've almost got 30 kills between them, with the other 3 players on their team on 14, I think, apiece, maybe 14, 16. 16 kills between the 3 bottom and 29 when it's the 2 top. So a big kill disparity on the BPro side. They all need to show up if they're going to fare. They don't need 5 players showing up in this matchup, but later on in the day, if they end up beating Cold Game, they're gonna need everybody. They're gonna need every rifle that they can get their hands on. And they've got to be hitting their shots, especially against Vexed, which would be their next game. Tiger.
He'd usually be the man that we'd expect to actually hit all these shots out, to take both of them out, but still deals quite some good damage. Corsair is going to get this one planted. The HG a little bit late. Okay, Flan is going to take it away though. With Psycho all alone, and he's just proven with a triple kill just at the end of the previous round that he's capable of walking into the enemy's crosshair with his back turned towards him. So
Could have been the knife,
8-6 and big ball game.
I had my fingers crossed for the knife just then. I wanted to see it. We saw 2 yesterday. Amongst the whole day, we saw 2 knives, and they were both in the same round. It was pretty nuts. Opposite ends of the map as well, so it wasn't just everybody knifing in mid or something like that. It was a pretty nuts round, to be honest. But let's hope we see some more knife action today. That nade doing a bit of damage, whittling down BPro, but here comes the A take.
Oh, one-man lead in favour of Call Game, actually. It's something that BPro will definitely not be happy with. And Outbreak finding some more. Now he hides away. Now still some mollies, the smokes along the way, so they cannot really catch up on towards him. And the Outbreak through the smoke. The bomber is taken down. The bomb even bumps off the box to fall even further to set Blocker up completely. And that's 9-6. Good first half. It started going a little bit better by the ending of it for BPro, but then the ending once again with huge impact from Cold Game, and they will hold on to their advantage. Now, we remember what the CT side looked like for BPro last time.
Yeah, and you've got to be worried for BPro at this point. We saw a hideous CT side earlier, and now same map, different side though. It's Cold Game they're playing against, and looks like they're going to go for an A take with BPro stacked towards B. They've horrifically misread this situation. Only Foreign, he has got a kit, so when they go for the retake, they are going to be able to take it, but Foreign hits the initial headshot. That's exactly what they needed, and here comes the rotate back for BPro. They might actually be able to hold on to this A site as Poise takes another kill, double there for him. Knifes out, but doesn't find the frag. ETL, last player alive, throws one nade up, does do the damage. There's a double for him, but needs to find some more. An ace clutch is on the cards if he wants to take this round.
Okay. Yeah, he dies, and well, he was supposed to die right there. No way out of a situation like this. No way out of a 1v5, but the double kill definitely looked quite impressive, and it's not the worst situation for them for sure, but Cold Game will be pretty unhappy because they built up the first half quite nicely. Now they're starting to lose the entire advantage that they had out there.
Yeah, and Psycho obviously looking on point. That first shot was amazing, and matching it is Hidji with that deagle up mid. Poise drops, and that's one of the bigger players from the BPro side. He's on 16 in 12, and him dropping early is a real issue. Psycho spots 2 out, needs to hit this double spray down, and does. Controls the spray perfectly. There's a third headshot. Pistols out, trying to get some more, and he does. Psycho doing all the work. Quad kill for him, and BPro, they might stay alive off the back of this. Blocker peeks in as well. That's a crushing defense, but Psycho, it's all off the back of that marvelous M4.
Oh well. 9-8. We've got an MP9 right there on 4, and also a little bit more equipment bought up additionally, of course, in the form of Kevlar helm. I feel like he might have quite a little money next up. Some damage maybe will be delivered by ETL's Deagle right here. Definitely looking forward to some performance from Cold Game. Unfortunately, though, as expected, it's just going to be
wow.
a bloodbath.
Psycho once again with back-to-back multi-kills. 4 and now 3. BPro really thriving off the back of him, and he's on 24 kills. The only player on BPro really showing the star quality that they can really actually perform to. Poise as well with 16, but it's nothing to the mid-20s that Psycho is putting up right now, and he's really forcing his team back into this game. And yeah, it was against pistols, but if he's going to hit that level of form, he can definitely do that against these rifles as well. Cold Game love this A site, and they're going to go for it once more.
Oh, here we are. That's the first kill of this round, but Psycho, what? Nobody spots him out? Oh, that could have turned into a such a successful spray down, but it's not going to work out, unluckily enough for them. They were the ones who initially had the game in their hands, so right now they should be the ones that have Outbreak with yet another double. Outbreak's just stepping it up lately over and over again. Especially they still have Tiger Mask, they can do a lot of ton there. Finish up this round. And that's 10-9 in favor of Cold Game. The bomb was planted. They only survived with a single rifle though, so their economy still looks quite bad compared to BPro even.
Yeah, and obviously BPro They are obviously looking good, taking those first 3 rounds. It's something that they didn't get to do earlier against Vexed, but here they are playing against a different tier of opposition. Cold Game, they are the qualifiers team. In BPro, they could be feeling a lot more confident because of that. ETL definitely could have found that kill there, but didn't quite happen. Poise stays alive, and BPro could go for this double up setup that they tried to force earlier, but I would say, nah, 4 rifles is definitely the way to go. Foreign looking for this headshot, but he's got players on both sides. Looked very close, but missed the shots.
One bomb is down, and the G kill out there too. Plans A is going to look quite nice. Corsair waiting, and this could be a very good decision right here, but ETL's not peeking out. I think he might have spotted out the barrel of his weapon, but he just wasn't looking there with his eyes, and that's ETL getting the kill on Psycho. Corsair all alone has to die too. A triple kill combined for Plan A with 1 kill with the HE. That's a good run in this round. 11-9, 2 rounds to get advantage for them. Now they break down the economy that BPro had. Now they're becoming a little bit better. This time it's not just one single man alive after it for them, and pistols up against the rifles. That's what we'll see here, and I don't think that it should be enough for BPro.
This is crazy though. Cold Game had such a horrific start to this half. BPro were really doing work and looked like they were going to maybe even mount a really strong CT side of Mirage against all odds, in opposed to what happened a couple of maps ago. But oh, look at this. Hedge 1 and 2 shuts down the A take, and Poise is the only man here with a USP, but obviously at that range it doesn't do much damage unless you hit him right there, right where it hurts.
Well, Foreign, he's going to go down to ETL. ETL just trying to get himself going. He had quite a good run on Overpass though here. He's slightly dimmed, I would say, but doesn't make a big difference at the end of the day. Cold Game going further and further, and even the bomb planted additional $300 is always going to be something right there for them. And an AWP finally shows up on the hands of Poise. Foreign is the other man that can play with the AWP proficiently, and BPro sometimes Corsair picks it up, but Poise is definitely the #1 go-to man with it.
Something that's a little scary is Cold Game are throwing away a couple more rifles than they really have to be. These convincing rounds are made a little less convincing when Tiger just runs straight into the enemies and takes the damage. But this is a very fast B take through short. But one arm of that attack has been completely destroyed, and Blocker destroys the other one as well. Hidji, last man alive. He's got the bomb in hand, but 1 versus 4, I'm sure there's nothing he can do. And Cold Game in this position, obviously they have enough money to go for 1 more buy after this, but BPro, like if they had lost this round, this would have been pretty much all said and done. It would have been 13-9 Cold Game, then another eco, then BPro. They would have definitely not been in the driver's seat any longer.
No. EG a little bit put up against the wall, but I don't doubt that he could be able to still find just a single kill or something, and that still could be a little bit of a favorable situation for his team. Cold Game, they're gonna have a little bit worse of an economy for sure, with 1600 and 1500 out there on EG and Tiger, but the rest will have enough to buy up, and BPro will still be struggling, so just take away as many rifles from them as possible, preferably an AWP maybe. Yeah,
possibly. However, we don't really see BPro getting too aggressive, especially with that AWP, so I don't think Hidji is going to do any damage at all. I think there's going to be a stalemate at the end of this round where all 5 of these rifles are kept into the 23rd, and that's good for both teams. It's good for Cold, since they've got the 5th rifle to work with. Hidge wouldn't be able to buy at all if he died, especially after time where you don't get that loss bonus. His teammates can just about scrape a buy with the exception of Tiger, but remember, he's the aim star. We were billing him as one of the better players on Cold Game earlier, and he's not shown up as well. Yet earlier he had an absolute carry performance. However, BPro, they're shutting him down right now. 18 kills, not as good as the high 20s that he hit in that initial game, and he was the only player showing up on Overpass. So that's why we're bigging him up maybe slightly more than he's performed. But here's the A take. Cold Game seems to love the pointy ladder. But
He's completely blind, but Flander is going to take down the kill on Psycho. Corso around the corner, they have to spot him out. Nobody paying attention. Tiger's going to go down, and that's a very good position, but it's not going to be used to get any more than just a single kill. He's also looking for anybody to sneak through the smokes, but nobody's really doing that. Forward and blocker in a 2v4, and this is a horrible situation. As I mentioned, it's not going to be bad for Cold Game. They keep BPro's economy low. BPro win a single round. Now they're going to get resets. Blocker, though, with a kill on ETL, but you can already see one person falling back. They don't even want to reset. They know how horrible their economy is, and coming back to Tiger, actually, yeah, maybe it was partly because he had AWP on a couple of rounds right there on overpass up against Tricked, and with this AWP he was able to get some clutch shots, and that got his confidence going or something like that. But right here, it's not such a highlight.
oh no, that's big damage. BPro, oh, they could have lost the second player there as well. Foreign, the only player keeping a rifle into this 24th round. They can buy up 2 around him. Koza and Psycho definitely could invest. I think they definitely would have if they saved that second rifle, but they lose that additional man, and they've not got the money to go for a proper buy here. Foreign, the only player with anything on his back, and he's not really been using it effectively. 6-18, that's not the best scoreline, and he only takes 1 in return. That's not good enough if you're only the only rifle on the team. Of course, I walks right into the crosshair of Outbreak, and this could be a 14th round for Cold Game, as they are very close to knocking BPro out of this tournament.
Outbreak takes another one out, and now around the corner has 2 more CTs, but gets a swift headshot too from Psycho rather. And Tiger, yeah, he's got the AWP that was
the knife!
Wow. That's something even better than just the AWP shot from him. A knife but no bomb plants. Still 60 seconds. But they don't know where Psycho is though, and if he climbs up the stairs he might get an easy kill on HG right there. Back to 1v1. This is still winnable for BPro.
Yeah, Flans, he did have the option to swap to that AWP. We know that when he's not allergic to it, however, Psycho, he's taken short control. This afterplant position hasn't been terminated just yet. Flan knows exactly where this aggressor's coming from. Psycho already with a triple kill. Tries to molly out that one angle, and it just shows further that he doesn't know exactly where Flan is, and there's a Molotov in Flan's pocket. And HE as well, so he can do a damage before he even goes for this peek. And Psycho goes for this initial aggression, but hits the headshot. That was nuts. BPro, somebody buy this guy a cider or a beer or whatever he drinks. What do they drink in Bulgaria? Probably the battery acid. Alcoholic battery acid or something, right? It's Balkan. Balkan people. I've got a friend that I play CSGO with who's from like Macedonia, which is in the same region, I think. They're both in the Balkan region. And he tells me about Balkan parties and how they drink like super strong drink. I got invited to go over there for a LAN and I had to turn it down, but it sounded pretty nuts.
Yeah, well, the stories are there for sure, but I haven't heard about battery acid though.
Battery acid alcohol. It tastes like battery acid. It's so strong. Either way, this push is coming in Cold Game. They need to take down these rifles, and BPro with a fast rotate mows down these T's, levels the scoreline to within 1. BPro, they're 1 behind now. And on the CT side, this is really dangerous. Obviously, BPro, they've got that money rolling at this point. This isn't going to be they're not in instant eco territory. However, Cold Game definitely are. They're not going to buy right now. And BPro, although they looked bad earlier, they're actually looking decent now.
Well, the AWP in the middle, up against it is going to be ETL if he finally decides to peek out. But Boys aggressively jumps out. 1 of ETL now from the side. But Boys gets 2 and will pull out the P250. And luckily enough, did not get enough time to get some more. But Tiger, he's also not doing such a bad job. Left in a 1v2 though. And an incendiary, and possibly an HE from Blocker. Another incendiary is available out there. I don't see him winning this round, but definitely not a bad effort from him.
Remember, he won a round in exactly the same circumstances earlier on Overpass. He was on like 40 HP, both players on full HP for whoever they were playing against. Who was it? Tricked. He got the kill onto A, and then the second was the rotator. So BPro, they could definitely fall to the same fate. And if he wins it this time with the AWP, he'll put his team practically on match point, because BPro won't be able to afford into the next one very likely. It's very risky territory. There's the information gained for Psycho, but he's a bit timid to go for this push. Doesn't know if he wants to peek just yet, and Tiger's going to plant exactly for him. Headshot, easy. All picked up, and BPro gifted another round. 13-13, they're so close.
Well, that's a little unlucky, but yeah, that's 13-13 as you mentioned. BPro, although as we are looking at this game really, and as we were talking about how Cold Game built up an advantage for themselves, they could be the ones to easily secure this matchup. Would you say that BPro deserve where they are right now with the 13-13?
No. I don't think that their T side was very good at all. I think that they definitely have mounted something decent on the CT side, and they've really fallen back onto this one. But I don't think it was really done off their own back. I think Cold Game have been fairly weak as well. I don't think that this has been a very high-skilled matchup. It's a sight for Corsair, but can't land any shots without USPS. Outbreak doing all the damage with 2 headshots. BPro have to go for this rotate sometime soon. They do have 2 players here. Blocker returns it back, but it's all Outbreak. Triple kill for him. He's doing all the damage in Cold Game. They could be saved off the back of this. Foreign moves his way onto this A site, but he's playing it passively. He's got every nade he could dream of, a whole selection to throw out onto A. However, with Cold Game possibly even going to the B site, they don't really know what they want to do just yet, and Foreign takes the first. Outbreak needs a quad kill if he's going to finish off this round. Here goes the bomb as well. But Foreign knows exactly where he's playing from, and he's got all the nades to take this one out as well. Goes for the peek without using any. Finds the shots, finds the AWP, finds the defuse, finds the round, finds it all. BPro find the 14th round. That's nuts from him.
For Foreign, the first kill, extremely lucky. The second kill, extremely proficiently played. After the first bullet didn't connect to him, the other guy expected him to go up the stairs or play from around there, hide for a second, just catch a breath. But no, he strafed away from the stairs and then instantly got a kill for himself. That earned BPro a round. But definitely, it's not like we can say that he necessarily won a 1v2, because the first person just completely suicided into him with his back turn.
Yeah, and that's a dangerous situation to be in. Psycho trying to go for one of those Psycho spray downs again, but only taking 1 in return, and this spreads out the defense. Tiger takes damage as well, exactly half, but with ETL behind this defense, BPro really don't know that this one's coming. The initial shot's being missed, but Poise peeks into it, finds the man advantage.
HG, what? He didn't even take a look over there.
Not bothering. BPro gifted a match point as Cold Game. Yeah, they've looked okay against this BPro side, but I think their time is over in Legend Series. 1 round and you're out. 1 strike left, and it's a shaky buy to try and keep them in this tournament. BPro might eliminate the challengers here today. Very short as well. Poise finds that first kill.
Okay, so there we go. One of the crucial rounds in the ATL with a good kill for himself. Poise already down to 25. This is a big opening already. He definitely needs to find a better weapon. Flans A, pretty much same goes for him. And for now with the 15-13 BPro a little bit closer to victory. And as I mentioned, I'm expecting Cold Game to get more than 10 rounds. 11 even, I think I said. So still something along these lines. But after watching the game itself, I definitely did not expect BPro to be the ones to have the advantage. Now they are the ones to deal the cards. 4-on-2.
And Cold Game, this might be their final round in Legends Series. 2 versus 4, and BPro 2 kills away from making 16 rounds in that consolidation final in just a few moments. Flan, he gets spotted out as well. BPro members are both sides of him. They haven't looked strong, but they might finish off this game in some style. Psycho goes for the peak and finishes off the job. Just Hidgy left, 1 versus 4, nothing he can do. Psycho's right around the corner. The monster, 38 kills, finishes it off. 38 kills, that's crazy.
Yeah, he started like going rampaging on some anti-eco rounds where he was getting triple kills on simple people with pistols out there, so it wasn't anything impressive. But then he started translating those doubles and triples into 4-buy rounds against the enemy team, and that's where BPro overpowered Cold Game actually, and they will be the victors right here. After watching the first half, slightly or maybe even completely unexpected, but at the end of the day, I called this kind of scoreline before the match started. Am I happy with it? No.
No, sure not. Well, Cold Game, the first team eliminated here. And just before our consolidation final, we're going to have a quick break. So Vexed Academy versus BPro, an unexpected consolidation final coming up next. Who's going to make it against Tricked? Find out in just 5 minutes.
Never gonna